What's up, guys? It's Rob here, and today we're going to be looking at MULN stock MULN Automotive because this is a play that a lot of people are interested in. We're going to be talking about what you guys should be on watch for regarding this stock because it has experienced some extreme volatility over the past couple of days, hitting highs of 214, and now it's been as low as 85 cents just about. So we're going to start off taking a look at some things to watch for it, okay? What to watch for MULN. The first thing that you're going to want to watch for are new catalysts that could be coming up. And the reason is that is what initially drove MULN to such high highs, okay? When they got this report coming out that they had made progress on a solid state polymer battery pack that they've been developing, that's what really started pumping them up, okay? This battery pack was supposedly supposed to have 600 miles plus of range for EVs. However, the key thing to remember about this pack is that it's not going to be even prototype tested until 2025. But you will want to watch out for more catalysts like this because it is what initially spurred the big rally that we saw starting in the pre-market of just a couple of days before they hit their highs. So that's the first thing to look for, right? That's if you hear some new catalyst, that is probably the best likelihood that you have of this stock pumping up again. If they have some other big story, another big development with this battery pack, potentially some more progress being made, it seems unlikely that that would happen in the next couple of days because this report just came out less than a week ago, and it seems unlikely that they would have another new development just a couple of days later, but it is something to keep on watch. So new catalysts are probably the best chance that we've got at pumping this thing up in a really big way, but there are other reasons why this could pump up. And the next is short interest, okay? Short interest has been spiking pretty dramatically. It's going to be something that you want to keep an eye on. If you have Ortex, you can see the actual short interest right here. It's about 30% of the free float. It has been increasing today. More and more shorts have been getting in to MULN as time has gone on. You can see, based off this green line overlaid on the price, more and more shorts have been getting into this pretty much every day. And we currently have about 6 million shares short. Now, the important thing to understand about these short shares is that currently there are 6 million of them. The price of this stock, let's even say it's $1 instead of 90 cents. That means there's about $6 million worth of short shares out there. So it's going to be very tough to actually squeeze shorts out. However, if this number does increase enough, then it could be a catalyst that could drive some more attention to this stock, particularly on places like Reddit, maybe on StockTwits, people might talk about this. And groups overall, trading groups, like to buy into heavily shorted stocks in the hopes of squeezing out shorts. Now, keep in mind that, once again, there's only about $6 million worth of shares short on this, currently, at least as estimated by Ortex. And so it seems unlikely that we would actually be able to squeeze out institutions because they've only got $6 million worth of short positions out there. You'd have to get that up to a pretty high number before they actually start getting margin called on any short positions. Obviously, if this thing exploded, it could happen, but that's not an immediate catalyst that we're looking at right now. We'd have to see a big price appreciation before we actually start thinking about a real short squeeze going on. However, it could draw some more attention from trading community, so that's something to keep an eye on. If this number, particularly the short interest percentage of the free float, continues getting very high, this stock will likely get talked about more and more, and some people might decide to enter the trade in an attempt to squeeze out shorts. So that's something to watch for. Short interest is very important these days for a lot of these smaller market cap stocks, and MULN is certainly a small market cap stock. $34 million. It would not take much capital to move this thing. So retail could certainly do it. Now, the next thing you're going to want to keep track of is trends data, Google Trends data, and social sentiment on sites like StockTwits. So we'll take a look at the trends data for MULN stock on Google Trends. You can see that we've actually held fairly well. We've kept a decent amount of search volume going day after day, despite crashing in price just a couple of days ago. We did end up moving down pretty dramatically, but it's good to see that people are still interested in this stock, although interest is waning a little bit. We are actually making slightly lower highs day after day, unfortunately. But if you do happen to notice on any certain day that this trends data is pumping up, that could be an indication that we might be in for another run. Maybe there's a new wave of people that are interested in this stock for one reason or another, and it could be an indication that the stock could be due for a price movement either to the upside or the downside. It's something to keep an eye on. Typically, people start searching for a stock on Google when they get curious about it, when they see it's moving big one way or the other. And they use Google as a way to figure out what's going on with it. So it's a little bit of a lagging indicator sometimes. Typically, there's already some kind of price movement going on. For that, you'd really want to see, firsthand what the actual news, if there's new catalyst coming out, or if short interest has increased dramatically or decreased dramatically, you'll want to see that for yourself. But it is useful to just get an overall glance at how many people are looking at this stock. Also on StockTwits, if you've looked at StockTwits' most active stocks lately, you'll notice that MULN is number 1 with about 13,000 mentions. And you can actually see, if you go to the MULN page and click on social sentiment, you can see how many people are saying bullish things versus bearish things. And it looks like at the moment, most of the talk is pretty bullish. All right. The screen indicates that most of the talk is pretty bullish. That's probably going to be the case because this was a pumped up play, and people are very wary of changing their sentiment on this thing. So, whenever you see a stock get pumped up big, people really don't want to flip and start talking bearishly about it. There are always going to be some bears out there, but overall, most people are talking pretty bullishly about this stock. A lot of people are hoping that this stock will move up pretty dramatically. So that's another way you can kind of gauge what the social sentiment is. It's unlikely to change too much to the downside. I don't think we're likely to see very many people talking bearishly about this stock, but if we do, that could be a pretty bad sign, all right? You really don't want to see that. Now, I don't know why I have short interest on this list twice. I guess it's just really important. Forget about that. The next thing, price levels, the technicals of this stock. This is somewhat important, okay? And you can see a bunch of lines that I've drawn on this chart. A lot of them, well, pretty much all of them, are support and resistance, okay? There are some key levels that this stock has going for it, all right? 80 cents is likely to be a support level. It's not a guarantee, but we did see some resistance at 80 cents previously, and these 10-cent increments are oftentimes psychological support levels. Now, we are moving down today. We're down about 8%. And we did stop before we actually got to the previous lows of this dip that we've been on. The previous lows were around 85 point something cents. And we did actually stop closer to 87. We actually stopped at 87 today. We didn't quite hit what might be a very temporary support level for us, potentially. It's not a guarantee yet. We haven't actually tested it, but we'll see if 85 point something cents, 0.6 cents it looks like, could be support for us. Now, there are some resistance levels, and if we do end up breaking through the resistance levels, that's when things could get very interesting for MULN. The first is at $1.10, and you can see we've hit this level a couple of times right here. In fact, this whole $1.10 to $1.20 zone is probably going to be a zone of resistance because we have entered it and we have gotten bounced down off of different points in it multiple times, as well as at the top, the actual real resistance, $1.20, which is pretty significant for MULN. But first, we'll talk about $1.10. You can see we've bounced off of it a couple of times, and when we have gotten into it, it's been tough getting much higher than that. Now, $1.20 is important for MULN because that's the resistance that actually led to us breaking through to the upside in a pretty massive way. You can see we played with it a couple of times before we actually broke through. We hit $1.20 in the pre-market, the day of the actual pump, and then we hit it one more time where we bounced off and used it as resistance once again. And a couple moments after that, we ended up breaking through in a sizable way, and that's what led to the massive rally that we were able to see, where we hit highs of $2.14, and during the actual trading day of $1.90 just about. Now, $1.20 is certainly going to be tough to break. We'll have to get through the $1.10 to $1.20 zone first of all to even get there and to even be able to test it. And for that to happen, we would probably want some kind of catalyst. But of course, with this small of a market cap stock, it's only about $34 million market cap. Anything could happen, all right? A big whale could come in and we could see this price moving up without even hearing about a catalyst, in which case you'd both see the price moving up and probably Google Trends data. You would probably notice more people searching for this, wondering what's going on, and that would probably be a good sign if you saw this thing moving past $1.20. Just my personal opinion. Obviously, not financial advice. I'm not recommending anyone make any moves on any certain stock. I'm just letting you guys know what I think about this stock, breaking down some of the news for it. And if you guys are interested in that, feel free to subscribe to the channel because we do this kind of thing all the time. We also do live streams every morning at 9. And if you guys want some more of a community, then feel free to join the locals community down below. And other than that, guys, have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.